I want to welcome everybody to our board meeting this month. We'll get started.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the June board meeting minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Voted?
Yeah, she said.
All opposed? So be it. A little bit of an update here is, we've got a full roster for the men's invitational. We're hoping for great weather. I think I've seen rain forecasted every day. Everybody has a great fun. We have some good golfers. And I really want to appreciate everybody that's, getting ready for it. Thank everybody that's worked hard to make it happen. From getting projects up to a status that they're usable, from the, all the projects going on, as well as all the preparation for the, food and the tournament and the golf course. Just really appreciate the hard work it takes to get this to this status that, our members are coming to expect. A little update on Lakefront Plazas. It's taking shape and it'll be available for drinks this week. The remaining work is on track, including landscaping and stairways and lighting a fire. It'll be completed in the next few weeks. Nobody needs the fire yet. But, yeah. One item of concern I would like to talk about is our pace of play. Keith will go into this much more, during his presentation, but we're not playing to the pace that, people have come to expect. And, one of our reputations here is having 4-hour rounds, and we're just not completing that. So GTNH has, been reviewing the issue, making recommendations, to get us back on pace. And, they will include member disciplinary actions if it takes that to, get everybody's attention to make sure that, you're playing a quick round. But it is a key attraction and a benefit, that we all expect. And then, I would say on a personal, matter, I want to thank everybody that's been very supportive of my family. And, really appreciate the, love and prayers that, everybody's offered. So, really appreciate that. Thanks.
Key decisions and votes taken by the board since our last board meeting. We approved a number of new memberships, and you can see the names listed. In addition, we've approved some authorizations for expenditures, including a capital lease for a greens mower, 5-year lease at $1,800 a month for a greens mower that came available. We only have one, which is not a great place for a golf course to be. So with the second one, it gives us a little more leeway in case we have any mechanical issues and take better care of our course. We had several issues with the HVAC related items in the maintenance facility. Need to provide a good working environment for our team. There was a new HVAC system, a ceiling heater, and an ice maker for the facility. That was $34,500. And the stairs down to the Lakeside Plaza, we approved an expenditure of $20,000 for that work. That's it.
Long range planning, just, for those of you who had a chance to go into the ladies' locker room. The lockers, 9 lockers have been installed, replacing the old lockers that there was really not enough room to put a golf bag here and some other things, so. The ladies' lockers are installed, the men's are here and will be installed next week. Beginning next week, I don't know, it may take a week or so to get those done. So they will soon be available for anybody who's interested in leasing a locker where you can leave your clubs, place for shoes, place for hats, place for some clothes. So it'll be a much better environment than what we've had in the past. Nice picture. Great job, Nate, of showing the before and after. I think it's already hard to remember what it used to look like down there, but it was just kind of a waste area with not much going on. And the new lakeside fire pit is gonna be a great place to hang out and have a good time. It's really coming together well and doing a good job, so. More to follow on that. Next item, nominating committee. So we are beginning the process of identifying new board candidates going forward. There are 2 positions that will be opening up. Dakota is finishing up her term and I am finishing up my term, so we're gonna be looking for 2 new board members. We'd like to have at a minimum of 3 candidates or more for that, and we're gonna be going through the process of anybody who's interested can reach out to any of the members of the nominating committee. But, you know, going forward, we're gonna start soliciting actively through emails, club announcements, personal outreach by nominating committees, by board members, identifying who the new board members will be going forward. Mid to late August, we're gonna have an open house for interested members who can hear from the board and committee members. We did this last year for the first time, where we actually invited folks to come in and learn a little bit about what each of the committees do, so that they might be interested in getting involved in a committee. Because the best way to start preparing to be a board member is to participating in a committee and understanding how the club works, how it functions, how things are presented and reviewed and approved. So we'll have that open house where everybody is welcome to come in and just learn more about how their club functions, the activities, the processes. And then between August and September 9th, candidate applications will be submitted to the business office. On September 10th, candidate applications will be posted in the lobby of the clubhouse and sent out via email, so everybody can get to meet who the candidates are. Read and find out what their background and their experience is, and start to evaluate who they think they might want to vote for. And then, September 10th, the ballots will be, mailed out and include annual meeting packet by voting instructions for board member candidates. By mid-September, we're gonna have a meet the candidates where you will be able to come in and each of the candidates will talk about what their goals and aspirations are, and why they want to be involved and what they'd like to accomplish. And then by October 15th at the annual meeting, we will count and tabulate the votes and announce who the new candidates are. So the process is gonna be ongoing over the next couple, 3 months, and don't be surprised if you're approached and asked if you might be interested in being a candidate going forward. Comments, any questions?
Isn't there a rumor some free drinks on one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. There will be free drinks offered, but it really, that's an event that's gonna allow people an opportunity to really hear from the folks on the various committees, understand what they do and what impact they've had. And the committees have had tremendous impact on changes and revisions and improvements to this club. And it's really a great place to be a part of the club and learn more about how it all functions and make a difference every day, so. And drinks.
The important part.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Yeah.
Sorry, I make a note. Okay, good evening. I'm labor stand-in here. All I can. This is Lori. What?
Oh, she was trying to come in.
I don't know. So we're halfway through the year financially, can't believe it. We have a budget or actuals to variance of 87,000 ahead of budget, so we really had a strong June. Where we saw everybody doing great, with membership sales, the FME is above our budgeted count now, so our dues will start getting over our budget. Our food and beverage sales were higher. Even net with our cost of goods that stayed lower, so, pro shop revenue is above budget. Jonah's seeing a lot of activity and exceeding our budget in his lesson, income, so that's really great. To see that program kickstart off good. And then we're working through the next few months of our weddings not booked to what we have on our budget, so we'll see some losses there. And we're always monitoring expenses across all departments and seeing what's going on, so, it's really good to have a strong set, knowing that we might not make budget the next couple months due to a couple varying things, but, really as we go through this month of July, another busy summer month, big tournaments. In August, we'll start talking about the reforecast of what we think the last 5 months will be, and, get a good picture out there of where we will end. Everyone's a reminder, I think it's 70,000 was our, NOI expected for this year, so. That's that. Anything else, Jen? No?
I move to accept the financials as presented.
A second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right. Nate here. Order to go through KPIs, which stands for keep people interested. And I hope to do so. Hey, key performance indicators. So exclusive membership, amazing experience, robust financials, and effective management, the 4 pillars that we're going to be talking about. We go through a spreadsheet every quarter. We're going to document this as we go along, but really, as Laura said, it was a great first half of the year, and everything that we've kind of been measuring, looking at, financials look good, management staff is doing very, very well. We're fully staffed, except for cases, unfortunately, but we're working on that, and everything that we're looking at on an annual basis, quarterly basis, semi-annual basis, so far. So we look at some of these highlights here. Recent membership cap to 320 comparatively to work to our tens list, but our current FME is 204.2. Amazing experience, looking at long-range planning projects, I think we see keep to the club, and new projects that we're doing, especially with this Fireside Plaza is going to be a big benefit to the club. We're going to see some great activity down there. And then T-sheet utilization. Keep will talk a little bit about that. And it's not 100% all the time. People are still able to put their tea times. People are still able to get in there and robust financials. Lori, myself, this team, we're going through that every month. Their cost is at 57% revenue, and we're going to stay under 60%, which we are. So,
Hey, Lori and Nate, it's very hard to hear.
Yeah, I turned up the owl. I don't know if you can hear me better.
We need to project at the machine.
Did this last time, like half. Yeah.
And then healthy management, like I said, great place. And government's documents are being reviewed regularly, and we're gonna start doing more with that on an annual basis, maybe even a 3-year basis. But Gary's really kind of put the initiative for us and the team, and making sure that all of these documents are in place. And we were really lacking that before he came on the board. So kudos to Gary for getting that all lined up. And our club surveys, we do have our next survey coming out in September, and that'll be about course conditions. And then in December again with more golf tournaments and Keith's department. So we got 2 more to come. We got through a marketing survey just last week. And I hope everybody had a chance. I think we had over 160 participants in that, and how you're receiving communication from the club. So thankful for everybody that was able to submit that online as well. But keep an eye on your inbox. We will continue to ask you questions. And when you give us feedback, we want to act on that. So please do so. Any questions? Good. Yeah.
All right, hello to everybody online. This is Keith here, and hello. So a little update for golf tournament and handicap committee, as well as just golf operations in general. Obviously a busy time of year for us as we prepare for men's invitational, women's invitational just wrapped up. We'll talk a bit about that, but a couple updates. Gary mentioned pace of play, and you've all have heard from me at different points over the last kind of month. June was really a pretty challenging month for pace of play. And kind of first and foremost, that doesn't meet our expectation here at the club. So 4 hours is our expectation. That's 2 hour nines. Something that I think the membership holds pretty near and dear to their heart and how we enjoy our golf club. And at different points, probably had some interactions with me where maybe felt like I take that personally, and I do, and I take your experience on our golf course pretty personal. So when that's not going well, that certainly matters to the golf operations team. So a couple things that the GTNH committee has identified is, one, we clarified that our expectation still is 4 hours. So that hasn't shifted. But moving forward, looking at ways to enforce that for members that unfortunately aren't meeting that expectation and are negatively impacting everybody else's experience around them. There'll be some penalties and enforcement in place to make sure that we continue to monitor that and kind of uphold that standard of the club. So that's something to look at. Keep in mind that not our goal to be police force out there. We just want to make sure that Perry Park is what we all agree that it should be, and not willing to let that standard waver. So down the pipeline, if that means that we have to make adjustments into our tee sheet intervals, things like that, that could happen. With the desire to continue to maintain that pace.
What is a penalty?
So that's something that we would communicate from the GTNH and management level to the members independently, but with potential to lose access to the tee sheet for a given time.
Okay.
Yep. Handicap posting procedures. So another thing that GTNH has noticed is that we haven't all been posting all of our played rounds. So a reminder, 75% is our minimum threshold to compete in tournament play. That's a report that we review monthly within the committee. It's not directly reflective of your peer review report that you would review of your golfing peers. There's a few different criteria that we look at in that report that might not match directly, but it is something we review. A little change here. So when you don't post the score now, you're going to get an email from me the day after saying, we noticed you played yesterday and you didn't post that score. Please do so. So that's that first little reminder and a little step in what we hope to be the right direction and more continuous posting. And that would be a great opportunity to highlight, oh yeah, I only played 9 holes, but I was on the tee sheet for 18. We can clean that up a little faster with a daily communication process rather than, hey, in May, you didn't post the score. And you, and certainly I, have no idea what happened that day. So a little quicker process, hopefully working towards a more positive end goal. And just a reminder there, USGA's expectation is 100% of your rounds are posted. So if there's any reason that they're not posting that score, please let us know. We can make that adjustment. But that does matter. That matters for fair competition. The only way that a net tournament is fair is if everybody's doing their job and posting their scores. A little bit of info, club championships are right around the corner. So all registrations for both senior and regular club championships are open. Highly encourage everybody to play in that. Keeping in mind that this isn't just Rhino and Amanda's golf tournament. There's multiple flights throughout the club championships. So you should be competing in that. It's a great way to test where your current golf skill
aligns. There's net elements to everything but the championship flights. 2-day stroke play competition really is the purest form of golf. It's a great way to expose areas that you may need to work on in your own golf games. Unfortunately, that's tends to be what golf does in tournament play, it just exposes weaknesses. But I challenge you to enroll in that. One note and notable change, the women's senior and now super senior divisions will be in play this year. So for the past couple of seasons, the women's senior club championship started at age 60 and there was only one division. This year, GTNH has decided to start it at 50, the same as the men's senior division. So any women playing in the senior 50 to 64 are the senior division, 65 and over are the super senior division. So really just getting back in line, mirroring what the men's senior club championship is. And we think that's a positive change moving forward. The final point here, Women's Invitational recap. So first of all, a huge thank you to the committee that helped put that on and certainly all the participants. By and large, Women's Invitational went very, very well. A lot of really positive feedback from those that participated. A lot of our guests really do love Perry Park. We heard that a whole lot from guests, how much they enjoyed the tournament, but how much they love spending a weekend here at Perry Park. So really good overall tournament. Financial impact was positive. It covered all of his expenses and left a little bit left over. Try to reinvest all of that back to those that played in the tournament that year. But it was overall a great event and really appreciative of everyone that participated. So, thank you. The last thing here, we got a little additional slide. So our utilization report, I wasn't kidding, June was a busy month. It was one of our busiest Junes that we had any data on. One note there, over 200 additional guest rounds. So we could draw kind of a correlation between some of the struggles and pace of play. But reminder, your guests are your responsibility. So if they're here playing with you, keep them up. As we run through, this just blocks off hour segments of the day. So mornings, kind of interesting note there, Friday morning in that 8-minute intervals hasn't been utilized quite as much as some of our other mornings of the week. It's actually was our most available tee sheet inventory on Friday mornings between 7 and 11. As we got through, none of these numbers really surprise us. They kind of mirror what we experience. Tuesday, midday tends to be our slowest window. But it was a busy month and we could see both Saturday and Sunday, you all were enjoying your golf course. It's summertime and that's what we do.
That's what we do, Lenny.
That's what we do, baby.
Hey, Lori, we lost audio when Keith finished his slide.
And then
Okay.
just a quick thing.
Thank
So
you.
like, we
Oh,
see
yeah.
the 11 to 2,
Obviously,
how there's,
right.
it's the slump time, and you say that that's normally slump time. So I'm a pro member, and we know then that I can't play till 2 and after. So what would happen if we moved somebody like, and it wouldn't, and if we could move a pro member to a slump time when nobody's playing?
It's important to protect the integrity of what those memberships are defined as.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's
I get it.
probably not something willing to talk about at this point,
Okay.
but.
Okay.
Can you correlate any of this with the pace of play, certain days, times you're seeing?
There's no doubt that anytime there's more people on the golf course, it's more difficult to maintain that pace of play. So, Saturdays with a 99% tee sheet utilization in the morning block, that's a lot of use, and that's a lot of folks getting onto the golf course, and potentially any one group having a problem there just backs it all up. So there's less opportunities to catch up gaps and combine that. So the busier the golf course, the slower it plays, no doubt. That's all. Kudos to Jason for having a golf course in awesome shape, by the way.
Thanks, Keith. And so pace of play, let's talk about this. Personalized rough. So what that's gonna do is definitely increase, no, Jason, for those online. One thing we do in the summertime, the plants do start to stress out when you have these high temperatures. Definitely above average larkspur temperatures for the past 4 to 5 days. Course navigated that extremely well. We appreciate everyone's patience, especially those out late in the afternoon when Mike and I were back, running water, trying to cool that environment down. But what it does burn through energy. So it is pretty typical for us in early July, mid-July, to go out and give the rough a light fertilization. This shouldn't go gangbusters for sure, but you're gonna see a little bit of a density increase in the roughs. So I don't know if that'll help pace the play, but my partner in crime, I always try to, dig when we can, dig when we can. Overall course conditions, pretty positive. A lot of detail work for the men's invitational, for the women's invitational, kind of falling back to back on those, trying to keep the details up at the same level for those. And again, for the membership on a daily basis, just becomes a little bit more difficult when you have longer days, higher occupancy, trying not to impact as much of you in your rounds as possible. From a staffing perspective, just jumping forward, we're having a little bit of a challenge this year with I shouldn't say maintaining staff, but acquiring staff, and then the staff that's here actually being here for their 40-hour work weeks. So we are a little behind on, we'll call them man-hour labor or man hours and labor dollars. So that's where our savings are occurring. It's not that we can't fill positions, but some of the positions that we are filling, people are having other life-related issues that they have to attend to. So we are gonna pursue going back to and looking at H2B and bringing back the team from Mexico. They're excited to be back. They will be excited to be back if that does come to fruition. So that process kind of starts now for us. From a project front, I think everything's going pretty well. There is a spring left, like a flowing water spring, left of number 13 green that we've added some additional drainage to. There's a big drainage pipe that resides in the back corner there that actually brings water down from Galoom Pond, which is weird because we haven't had a lot of rain this year. But that's why I said just a natural spring that's pushing water up. So trying to dry that area out. We have a little bit more sod left to do on 11. Once the heat burns down, we'll catch that. And for those that have noticed, there's a fairly, I wouldn't say significant tree. Every tree is significant on a golf course, potentially depending on who you're playing with or who you're playing against. On number 14, on the right-hand side, there's a large pine tree that probably many of you will be happy to see go. That's been infested with bark beetle. So there's no saving that tree. But what we have done is contracted a local arborist and a larkspur arborist to come out, and he's kind of done a tree audit for the golf course on we'll call it the periphery in. So like the outside perimeters in, not up into the hillsides, but like golf accessible trees. That counts well over 800 trees that reside, just in these playable corridors. What we're hoping to do is be able to develop a tree maintenance program or look at, because one of the comments has been, there's a lot of dead wood in some of these trees, and we really haven't had funding in years past or a plan based on analytics or just viable numbers to determine what our best course of action is. So what this will allow us to do is he's prioritized whether A or B or 1 or 2, what tree needs dead wooded, can this survive, can this stabilize the way it is? that'll give us an idea as to, on a man-hour count or dollar amount, how many trees they could trim in a given session. So how much we could push, how much we could ask for in the future budget in terms of tree maintenance. The other important thing would also be trying to protect some of these key trees, like say the prayer tree on number 3, the prayer tree on number 7, the large pine that's in number 4 fairway. There are some very significant playability aspects of tree locations out here that we really should look at protecting. So that gives us an opportunity to do that and gives us a baseline for it. So other than that, team's doing really well. We're prepared for the men's invitational and the rest of the summer, so. Any questions? I will be here probably like 3 o'clock in the morning the next 3 days, so if you see any lights on the golf course.
It's you.
Yeah, it's me, with that electric greens mower, so it'll be super quiet, stealth mode. Yes,
Jason, since I have attended, last year I took the tour of the course, and this year I did the tour of the maintenance facility, and now volunteering on number 10. I have a huge appreciation for what you do.
thank you.
And you really do an excellent job. The other thing I notice is now that I'm learning to play golf,
Mhm.
is that when there's great big divots taken out on these other fairways, I look for that fresh grass so that I can put it back in. But, the thing I've noticed on my fairway, which is 10, is it looks like I have in the middle of it, a bunch of little ant holes everywhere.
So we definitely have a high population of ants at Perry Park. Number 6 is another good example. 6, there are pockets of them. We treat for them in certain places.
Do they do damage?
Not necessarily. It
They're
only
little
impacts
ants.
playability, right? Like you
Okay.
could have an inconsistent lie, but in general, other than that, they're not
No.
causing massive
Okay.
turf loss in any locations.
Well, I do appreciate what you do. I cannot,
Thanks.
you have quite a job.
Well, it's the team. We have to navigate a lot of different components, right? Mother Nature being one of them, and some days, all good plans can go sideways just based on what happens first thing in the morning with the wind or
But you
whatnot, but
obviously have a good team as
Yeah.
well, so.
yeah, for sure.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Anybody online?
Don't shine your lights in the window. tomorrow morning.
Green laser?
Is the green laser not working with the geese right now?
So the green laser only works in low light intensity, so
Right.
it'll work at night.
Right?
Yes, and they are starting to practice flying, so I would anticipate them being
Oh, that's right, their feathers
gone
are
this
out, right?
week. Yep,
Yeah, okay.
yep.
And those goslings were. Nice.
There is a comment online from Lee Camesis about pin placement. Maybe you could speak to that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So she noted there seems to be a lot of back pins and not many center pins.
I would say everybody plays the same golf course, so it kind of is, it's based on an algorithm. On a program that we have, there are certain areas that I try to avoid, especially for the men's invitational, they have traditional pins. So this week for sure, and last week, you're gonna see some, let's say out of the ordinary pin positions, but I guess I don't understand the impact of back pins versus a middle pin. I think it plays longer. This golf course plays longer. We have a forward set of tees that we can move up to.
I'm all for that.
Okay,
Lana here in membership. I'll try to speak loudly, but speaking of birdies, I had a new member call me today. Very excited. Lana, I got my first birdie. The goose is fine though. Maybe you guys have heard that one before. It was a new one to me. All right, membership's doing great. We had a very strong June, so currently we're at 317 to our new 320 cap. So we had 3 full golf acquisitions and 2 social memberships last month. Then we had a transfer. And then our new initiation fees, our current initiation fees are 25,000, 18,000, 12,500 and 2,000, and we have 2 memberships on the conversion list. This is the breakdown of all the different membership types, so 554 total. And then this is another breakdown of all the membership types. You can see that 8 average tenure and then also the average age of membership. Now, please keep in mind, this is the average age of the primary member. This doesn't take into account any spouses or children. Acquisition data, so this is where our new members are coming from. So moving to the area and membership referral and friend are gonna be the top 3. Resignation data, a lot of moving, non-use and lifestyle change. 20 social resignations year to date and 15 golf. So we are still trending under 10%, which is what we're going for.
So I'm reading this chart right, where golf resignations are 15, that's 63.4% less than last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Please welcome our newest membership families, some golf, some social. So you see on the tee sheet or in the dining room, introduce yourself. A lot of the newer women golfers are looking for big sisters, so it's cool to see that integration, and it's just an awesome program for the women of the club. So, any questions? Okay.
All right, hello, Chef here. Just to let everybody know that we really appreciate all the positive culinary survey feedback that we got. It was great. We'll learn from some of the mistakes that we have on there, but overwhelming positive feedback, so that was great. And then to talk about the Women's Invitational, I think that was the best Women's Invitational this I've ever went through with the food, on the food side and the food and beverage side, I would say. Food went out great, positive energy, everything went very well. Staffing, we are fully staffed and getting ready for the Men's Invitational this week. A lot of the food is here. We did not get a truck this year, trailer that's outside, so we're gonna be kind of ordering more 3 times this week, less than just one big delivery. Just to keep the, just to not take up all the room in the fridge. Purchases, we're still waiting for one piece of equipment, the flat top 60-inch. Still haven't heard when it's gonna be here. Hopefully soon. I was hoping to get it done before the Men's Invitational. But we have to have all the equipment here to do all the Ansel system reset. We have to put all that stuff in and then build all the piping for it. So it's all goes in at once. But June was really busy. Really proud of my kitchen team. They did a great job keeping up with the pace. You guys threw a lot of business towards us, and I think we did a great job preparing for it. So, Kevin, you want to talk about the front of the house?
Sure. Thank you for the introduction.
You're welcome.
Front of the house.
Hey, Kevin, we'll come forward a little bit with the owl. Yeah. So they can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Front of the house, Kevin reporting here. Our staff is very excited for the Men's Invitational. Starts this week, as you all know. Beverage cart staff will be fully engaged as well in selling product and offering as much as possible. So the team is geared and ready. Everyone is ready for those early breakfast shifts and those dinner shifts. So plenty of staff for each meal period. And we are fully staffed in all positions. So we've been having the same team for the last few years. And everyone has been exposed to Men's Invitational except for Paul. So excited to have our team work another Men's Invitational. Linen, we've recently changed companies. We're now receiving linen from Alsco Uniform. A really big company that I have worked with in the past, we are no longer using Snow White. So, over a year's time, we'll be saving some money and we'll be receiving a better product as well. A lot more accessible company, that is very reliable. And you can tell the quality of the linen is much superior than, Snow White. Dining experience survey feedback availability. So, hopefully servers are doing this on a regular basis. We have our survey card, not only for the quarterly surveys that go out, but this is accessible for each dining experience. So good or bad, I really definitely wanna let people know, members know that, we wanna hear your experience, as much as possible. So, if anybody, doesn't know this, please, use this as much as possible. We are training our staff to present this, so that we can get instantaneous feedback. Reservation utilization. So I put that on there because I want to give some feedback to members, overall on our reservation system. Members use about 30% of the time to make a reservation for dinner, right? So, Gary, actually, you do a pretty good job with that and making reservations. So I looked at our list, Roy Schmidt, she does a very good job. Patty as well, and you guys make, reservations constantly for your dining experience. And that's the only true way to make sure that we can, guarantee a table and make sure that you're a priority coming into that door. So, our staff is fully trained on how to use that system, and it's very helpful. So I'm gonna try and increase that over time so that members are making reservation up to a goal of 50% of the time. Upcoming events, we have the Rattlers, July 31st. We are at 50 people for that already. So anyone who makes a reservation from here on out won't be so close to the band, just FYI. We have a Como's tequila event. Como's is a luxury brand tequila. We have their silver, reposado, and añejo. We'll be pairing that with some tacos from Chef. And that is through the portal. So kind of different distinction of how to make a reservation for our events. When we have a special menu, that's when we create a portal reservation, right? Which is different from a regular dining reservation. We also have a sip and swing with Jonah on August 2nd. That is Palomas and Putting out on the practice facility. We'll have live music at Max's on August 10th. So that is paired with a full club closure here in the clubhouse for a wedding. We'll be offering live music, specialty cocktails, and a sip and swing, all at Max's.
Who's coming in?
Tyler T. So I don't know if you heard him play at the last cornhole event.
Okay.
So he'll be performing from 1 to 4 out at Max's.
Nice.
We also have another cornhole tournament, August 17th, and then a karaoke night, August 23rd.
Have we had karaoke before?
Not this year. Years past, we've had it. It kind of fizzled out a little bit, but I think it's worth bringing back, just because it can be fun. This time we scheduled it a little bit later. It's from 7 to 10. In the past, it was
We need
like
a few of these under our belt.
exactly. People tend to get encouraged as the night progresses.
Chef doesn't need those, he rocks.
Yes, Chef does a pretty good job of singing, so. We have some flyers, and I'm here for questions.
The question online about the Ramblers being at 50 when it should open tomorrow, 2 weeks out. I think groups are different.
Yes, so, we changed that to 3 weeks out on the reservation system. And I've been giving emails, for that event, and we've been creating reservations, for those people.
Okay.
So, we need to take a pause at only honoring reservations on that time frame. We can do that, so, not trying to play any favorites here, but somebody sends me an email requesting a reservation, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, I book it.
Okay, is that good, Brian? Let me know if not. Okay. That's it.
Perfect. Any more comments on that?
Nope.
Anybody here? Again, appreciate all the hard work going into this week and,
I have something. Hi, this is Ron Martinez. And I'd just like to commend the board, and I mentioned this in the Long Range Planning Committee. I've been around for 5 years, and it's only 5 years, but during this 5-year period, I have just seen such a remarkable improvement across all sections of this club. I mean, you look at the big things, the big projects that we've done, the parking lot, the 18th, the new putting green, the chipping area, the driving range. Now we got this Lakeside Plaza. I mean, you can go on, and the vast difference in the last 5 years and the quality of the golf course. I mean, we're here in July and that golf course looks amazing. So I'd just like to commend the board for the leadership to improve our club. It has been remarkable.
Thanks, Ron.
thank you very much. Any more good comments like that? All right,
Make a motion that we adjourn our meeting for this month.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.